What's up, guys? It's Mama Kate, and here's how to complete every single step of the main quest for Citadelle Day More, plus my tips and tricks that I've learned after helping people with the Easter egg. The first thing that you'll need to do is get inside the castle and open up the Pack-a-Punch. Now, directed mode is going to be released early 2025, so it will prompt you how to do this on the screen until you get down to the Pack-a-Punch. You're going to interact with this cannon trap and rotate it from spawn to the entrance hall. You'll fire the cannon, and that's what's going to open up the doors. It doesn't matter what side you go to. Sometimes we go left, sometimes we go right, but the on-screen prompt will prompt you all the way down to the basement of the castle into the dungeon and the oubliette room. You're going to see this container with 3 locks. You're going to break those and you will see the new enemy, the Doppelgast. Once you take him out, he is going to drop a refined crystal. You're going to pick that up and place it inside the container, and that's going to open up the Pack-a-Punch machine. Now, the next thing that you absolutely have to do after opening the Pack-a-Punch machine is go and talk to Krafft. His prison cell is located to the left, right behind Quick Revive. This is what's going to allow you to do the next steps of the Easter egg, so make sure you talk to him quick. Now, you can work on both the incantations and the traps. Those are the next 2 steps before you even build the swords at round 10. So usually one squad member will do one while I do the other. So here's how to do the book step. So Krafft hasn't talked to us yet. He hasn't turned the screen blue, so my eye isn't red. But the first trap location is always going to be by this rope. So my first one is what I call circles. It's just a basic eye. So one of the locations for the traps is going to be outside the Deadshot building. This is what my eye is. It's just a basic eye, and it has 2 circles on the outside. You're going to activate that trap, and you need 10 zombies inside it, and then it will complete it. The cool thing about this trap is you don't use any ammo while you're inside it. The next one is going to be found near the beds or on this bench. Whatever symbol is in your game, that's going to be the second trap that you need to do. Mine was outside this well. This is what I call lashes. It's just an eye with lashes at the top. And again, you'll need to activate that and complete it. The third trap is always going to be found on the sofa or near the TVs. I call this one the 4 points. So in my game, it was the 4 points. The eye symbols are going to randomize every time. And then my trap location was right here in the entrance of the castle. So once you get 10 zombies, you'll need to activate that. Now, the other 2 possible traps are in the QR, the Quick Revive room, or down in Pack-a-Punch. Now, there can be fake traps, so just make sure that your eye symbol is matching what is on the page. And then the 4th and final one, you don't even need to look at it, but it's going to be in this hallway, so it can be on that wall or just down near this ledge. But your 4th trap is always going to be in the stamina up room. It's always going to end here. So as you can see on my page, I had 8 points, and here inside the stamina up room, I have the 8 points trap. Now, if you're playing with 4 people, it's super easy if just everyone activates each of the traps, because they are 1,600 points. So if you're doing this early, money can be kind of tight. But once you complete this, you're going to hear a voice line from Krafft about the owl, and then you can watch the red orb go down the stairs, and this is going to reveal the night order for a later step. So that's how you know you've done it correctly. Now, let me show you how to complete the incantations. The first one here is in the lion. Again, you have to talk to Krafft first. You're going to shoot that first light above Vulture Aid, and then that's going to send it across the room. What you're doing here is taking the weak beam of light and pushing it towards the strong one. So it's really easy to follow the order. It's going to be the same every time. This last one can be a little tricky. I think they need to fix the hit reg, but you're going to push that until it goes across to this table, and there you will see Paladin's brooch. You're going to pick that up, and back in the night room, you'll see the lion incantation light up. Place the brooch, and this is a soul box. You'll need to get enough kills until that lion incantation comes up, so just kill zombies until it's complete. Next, I'm going to show you how to do the Raven incantation. So to the left of Pack-a-Punch, there is a cave slide. You're going to head down here, and just towards the end, there's going to be a Raven sitting right there on a rock. You're going to shoot him. Now, you can also use a frag grenade to throw into the end of that cave. You don't have to pay the 500 points. So if you bring that in, you don't have to use the cave. You can just throw that to get the Raven. You'll shoot him out of the sky and pick up his talons. And then you're going to make your way past the stamina up room down to the Undercroft. This is where the Raven incantation is. That'll light up. You will place the talons, and just like the lion, you are going to fill up the soul box by getting zombie kills. Now, this can be done in any order at any time. It does not matter. My squad likes to multitask, so we're ready for the swords at round 10. Now, this is going to be how to build the fire incantation. You're going to need 3 Molotovs and set these piles of wood on fire. If each of your squad members brings in Molotovs, you can knock this out pretty quickly. There's one right there in the middle. Now, if you don't have enough or you're playing solo, you can just buy them from the crafting table. And then once you've activated all 3, just be sure not to go down like I did right here. I took way too long trying to make sure my aim was right, because that middle one, you do want to aim a little bit higher. If not, you'll fall short. The third one is going to be on this pile of wood. And after that, you're going to see a firestorm come in. Now, at the end of this little firestorm, you're going to get another Doppelgast. So he is going to give you the relic item that you need for the fire incantation. And this is going to be Ra's Ankh. Now, a lot of people are calling the incantations sword upgrades, and really they're just tactical upgrades. They correspond, so each of the swords have their own incantation, but I don't necessarily think they're sword upgrades. They're just better tacticals. So once you place the Ankh right there, right from the arsenal machine, you're going to fill that soul box up, and that one will be done. Next, we're going to move to the electric. We went ahead and grabbed that rod right next to Deadwire because it's right next to this horseshoe. This is the electric relic, Otto's horseshoe. You shoot that down, you'll pick it up, and then what you'll need to do is hop inside this cannon, and this is going to zap you. Now, again, make sure you talk to Krafft before you do this step, but you should have already done that by now. Once you get zapped by lightning, this is going to remove the horseshoe off your body, and it's going to fly to either side of spawn. Now, if you look back as you're going through the cannon, you can see where it falls. If not, you can look at this little lightning cloud, and that's going to show you where to pick it up. You're then going to place it outside spawn, and this is the Stag incantation, the electric incantation. Again, it's a soul box. Fill that up, and that will reveal the electric incantation for you. The next thing that we're going to do is get the stamp. So when you see those zombies with the iron helmets, you can't do any head damage. You'll take him out. He's going to drop a stamp. Now, you can do these in any order. You put the stamp inside the knight. This is the ravens, and we're looking for 1 of 5 pieces. There can be 1 on the shelf, the table, right here on this bookshelf, and there can also be 2 over here. They're very light, and these are going to correspond to astrology symbols. So you're going to put that into this trap in the tavern, then put in your sword. Now, I'm going to post the pictures here of the correct order. You need to move the inner and outer circles to match the correct configuration and the zodiac symbols, and you're looking at the very bottom set, so the very bottom green symbol and blue symbol, and you can see the green arrow right below that. That is the one that you are looking at, and then you're just going to submit the correct solution. After that, there's going to be a void hole in which you will see 3 zodiac spheres floating towards you. Now, you'll want to be on the opposite side of the void hole so they fall in. You'll need to get 3 in each of them. It's going to move. You'll get 3 more inside again. It'll move, and then 3. So you'll complete that all 3 times. When that's done, you're going to follow this back to the puzzle. You interact with that, and that is going to give you the void sword. Now, again, that part can be pretty tricky, but if you just input the correct solutions, then you don't have to worry about what it is because it doesn't change once you have the base item. Now, the next sword that we're going to work on is the dragon sword. So you're going to kill another one of those zombies with the iron helmets. He's going to drop a stamp. You put it in the night. And then we're going to put the sword inside the dragon. Now, there are 3 dragon challenges. The first pot is going to be found to the left of the cannon. You're going to grab that and you'll be set on fire. Now, I had Jug, so I was able to just run straight from that to the dragon without any issues. But this can kill you if you are not careful. The second one is going to be to the left of spawn, and then you're going to run up this same side and you'll need to kill the purple-eyed zombies. This is going to reset your health. Now, even if you have Jug, if you don't take them out, you're not going to be strong enough to make it from all the way to spawn to the dragon. So make sure you're meleeing those zombies. And then the other one is going to be on the opposite side of spawn, and you'll need to make your way up this path, just passing Deadshot. And again, meleeing those purple-eyed zombies to reset your health, just because you don't want to go down while you're doing this step, because you can absolutely lose all your perks and you'll need to start over. And once you give that to the dragon, that is going to be the third and final challenge for the dragon, so you can pick up the fire dragon or Caliburn sword. And then what I like to do is melee. You have to melee the incantations to open them up, so I do that right after I get the sword. The next one is going to be the lion sword. Again, you can build these in any order, and it's going to spawn in 4 parasites. You'll need to melee the parasites with the swords. Now be careful, because if your teammates kill them, then you'll need to flip the round and try again. And if you also leave the parasites out of like your viewpoint, they can despawn and you'll have to flip the round once again. Do not put away your sword either once you melee them, or you'll need to get another one. It'll take off that bug charge. After you've meleeed that door outside speed cola all 4 times, you'll then head down into this tunnel. There are sometimes zombies in there, just kill them. And then you're going to input your sword into this pillar. Now there's going to be 4 symbols. It'll light up one at a time. You need to shoot the symbols in the exact order. Now you can't shoot them too fast, because the pillar does need to recognize that you shot the next one. It's going to be the same order every time. There's a circle with a dot in the middle, a snowflake, a triangle, and then almost one that looks like a Pokemon ball. So once you shoot those are going to go inside the pillar. This will charge, and this is going to be how you build the lion sword. So then I will take that. You're going to head back into the night room and then melee that to open up the light incantation. The next sword that we're going to build is going to be for the electric. Now, I've already picked up the first rod. The second one, you can either bring in a shock stick, or you can buy dead wire from the arsenal machine. You're going to shoot that electrical box. This is right outside the door that we were just at, and that's going to be the second lightning rod. Now, what I would recommend to get the third one is the moment that you get the stamp for the stag or the electric, you're going to go put that in to his statue, and then you're immediately going to head down to quick revive. Now when you do this, there's going to be a zombie that spawns in. He's armored, and he is going to have the electric rod stuck in his body. So this is the easiest. Sometimes if you don't do this, he'll wander upstairs and it's just going to drop randomly, but this is the easiest, so you don't lose track of it, and you can kind of see the rod is just hanging right off of him. So once you take him out, that is going to give you your third rod. You'll pick that up, and then you're going to head outside the cannon. There's a vase right here, which you will submit all 3 of your rods to. Now, what you'll need to do for this step is stand inside the electric storm with your sword, and you're going to wait until the lightning hits the sword, and then you're going to melee the vase. Now, it takes about 20 seconds from each of the lightning strikes, but once you get all 3, you're going to interact with that, and there you will be able to pick up the electric or stag or Durandal sword. And then I like to make my way back up to spawn and then melee the electric incantations box. Now, here is the wall that shows us the night step. This is the orb order. Now, you can either build the swords in these orders or you don't have to, but for the night salute step, you do have to do this in order. So you're going to throw your tactical and then inspect your wonder weapon. We usually have one person hold the zombie while we do this. You throw your incantation and then inspect your sword. You don't have to do the whole animation. You can just do it for 1 to 2 seconds, but the sword animations are honestly really, really sick. So I highly recommend you and your squad do that at least one time. So you'll need to follow that night order. You'll grab the incantation, throw it, inspect the sword, and if you're on controller, you double tap left on the D-pad. Once you've saluted all the knights, this is going to reveal a Mystic Orb. So you're going to see each of the knights in their power bring that orb down. You can grab that. And this begins the Mystic Orb Elemental Challenges. Now, I will say the Void Challenge is honestly the hardest part of the Easter egg. It's really challenging to get zombies to go into the Void. But you're going to pick up the orb, head down to the Krafft room. You'll need to place it onto the wall and then interact with it again so you can start the elemental challenge. What I would recommend is having each of your teammates get the incantations. Now you can get some from the night room down by the orb, and there's also some in spawn. And you're going to need to use those incantations to kill zombies with the Void or the Shadow Rift ammo mod. So you can also use the Shadow Rift ammo mod, and that's going to help make this step easier. And also the special on the sword, which is both your triggers or both my mouse buttons, but the Void one is honestly the hardest, so just be patient with it. And once you see those orbs are red and flying into the orb, there's going to be a flash of red on your screen, and that's how you know when it's done. So I got some zombie kills, and again I had the Shadow Rift ammo mod, which is why I was using my gun there. Once you see the red, you can then go in and you'll need to pick up the orb and can move on to the next one. Now, this doesn't matter what you do. You can do it in any order. My squad likes to do the Void to get it out of the way first, and then the next one that we're going to go to is the fire. So when you head back into this main room, you can grab the dragon's incantations and you can grab that dragon sword. One thing to note is if you're picking up and putting down the swords, it'll lose its charge. So you'll need to reset that before you can go and use its special power. So I've picked up the dragon sword and the incantations, and I'm going to make my way outside the entrance hall. Now with the dragon sword, once it's fully charged, you can use it because it has napalm on the end of it. So this one is actually super easy. You can use the fire incantations. You can use mollies. Sometimes when I bring in my ASG with dragon's breath, I use that as well. And this one absolutely flies, especially if you're doing the Void orb first. And again, once you see the flash of red after you filled up the elemental orb, you're going to be able to interact, and you'll need to pick that up before you can move on to the next one. My squad then usually goes back up to spawn where we do the electric elemental orb challenge. You're going to place it on the wall and then start it. Now these are timed, so if you're completing these and you hear Ravenoff talk to you after some time, that means you've failed it. All you need to do is interact with the orb and then you can start again. Here's the special ability on the electric sword, but honestly this one is pretty easy. So if you have a horde of zombies and about 6 of the electric incantations, you can just fly through this one, no problem. And once you've completed that, you're going to again pick up the orb, and then we're heading into the night room. You'll head up the stairs and you're going to place the orb one last time. And then for this one, you're going to see big green orbs all around this room. What you need to do is just run through it. When you stand in it, you'll see an initial yellow orb, and then it turns green and it's going to travel into the elemental orb. So this does take a couple of minutes, but you're just going to run through the green orb and it'll send an orb up to the elemental orb that you're trying to complete. Right here, I checked it. It wasn't done. So I stood inside it. You can see the yellow orb send out a green one, and then once it made its way, I saw that flash red that told me that it was done. Now that is the last step. You pick up the orb, and then that's the last thing that you need to do. So we're going to pick it up and I'm going to show you where to place it. We're going back to the wall that we saw with the Knight Order, and this is going to reveal the Guardian's Key. After this step, my squad will pop profit sharing and who's keeping score. That's a double points inside spawn. That's going to make things super easy to get loads of money. You can get to this Easter egg pretty quickly, but we just run a couple of rounds in spawn to get money. Now here is the boss fight. You're going to interact with this statue and place the key. Everyone is going to vote on it. Now, we all know that the Idolized Gumball is really good from the Terminus boss fight. To use it in this one, you will need to activate it before you go into the boss fight. So what I recommend is after your team has voted, the statue is going to come to life. This is the Guardian. His eyes are going to light up, and when he does is when you should pop your Idolize. Now there's also a free insta kill back behind near the tavern that you could also grab, and that's going to make this step super easy. If you combine that with temporal gift, you can also get that insta kill for a minute. Now, once you get into this boss fight, if you pop the Idolize before you go in, the boss is going to stand here. And when you see his name pop up on the screen, that's when you can go ahead and start damaging him. Now, right now, the drill is super overpowered, and I highly recommend that all your teammates have one. Now you can probably go in pack 2 purple or even pack 3 purple or pack 2 legendary. If everybody has a drill, you're absolutely going to melt this boss pretty quickly. Now let's say this drill does get patched. What I would highly recommend is using an AR. I love the XM4. I've taken both the XM4 and the Krigg in, and I found that the XM4 does more damage with rapid fire at pack 3 purple than the Krigg did pack 3 legendary. So if the drill method ever gets patched, bring in an AR. And this boss fight honestly is easy. It just takes a little bit of time. So right now he's immune and we're just killing zombies. You can just run around. I would recommend getting Vulture Aid, and then you can pick up spare plates. So just be mindful of where you're running. I tell folks a lot of times in boss fights, just keep moving and keep shooting. And this one, you can just keep rotating. Focus on making sure your health doesn't get too low. There are incantations that are located all around the room. And so if you see the Doppelgast, the new enemy coming in, pick up the electric one, and that's going to take them out pretty easily, so you don't even have to worry about it. Another thing that I would also recommend if you're using the drill is to use the Ether Shroud. If you use the augment, that'll extend to your entire teammates. That's also going to make things a lot easier. So I would use the drill or the AR. And if your drills are strong enough and you're fast enough, you can completely skip phases. Now, we didn't with this, and so we had to go through all 3 phases. But after you completely take down his health, he's going to have another immune phase. So again, you're just doing the same thing like you did before. Just keep moving around and you don't have to worry about the zombies. So Gobblegums again that we've used. Idolize before the boss fight. We use profit sharing and who's keeping score to get money. Now, if you're getting the insta kill before you go into this boss fight, or someone has a killjoy, you can also use temporal gift, and that will make your killjoy last longer. And again, you're going to be able to do more damage on the boss. If you want to bring in a hidden power, you can make your drill legendary right off the bat, but But usually what I do is I will bring in either the XM4 or the SOG. I will pack it once. I will use that to get me through the Easter egg steps. And then after that, I just put all my money and salvage into the drill because it is so strong as you're drilling into his armor. If you are just using guns, you'll need to shoot off the bits of his armor that's on his shoulders and on his ankles and his chest, and that's going to reveal his crit points. All in all, this was a super fun Easter egg. I love what they did with the map. This boss fight was cool. Those are my tips and tricks. If you have any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Black Ops 6 Zombies content. Good luck. I like to use the little incantations to get the zombies off, and then bam, go back to biting his ankles.
Oh, yeah.
He gone.